Hello friends, this is Khushboo Rawlley, your host on Radio Karishma. Thank you so much for listening to us. Today we are over here at SAFF, South Asian Film Festival, being held in Dallas. And we have with us Mr. Sami Khan, actually director of a brilliant movie Khoya, which we just saw, and it is really an amazing story, set up in a little bit of Canadian background and then true regional, tribal India, and the way he has brought up the culture, it's absolutely amazing. So Sami, first of all, we would like to know what intrigued you about this concept and this story. How did you decide actually make this story?
Yeah, so while the film is fictional, it comes from a very personal and almost biographical place. So the film is about a character who's searching for his long-lost family, and it was the origins of the project are I was looking for a long-lost brother. So again, while it's a fictional version of that, the origins are very personal and very autobiographical.
That's so true. Actually, we know that it's kind of close to your heart anyways, because it seems in real life also you were looking for your own brother, whom it seems you eventually found.
Yeah.
So it is pretty close to you. So is that why you actually ended up writing this? I mean, are you the writer as well, right?
Yes, yeah, definitely, because it's
just like
it's a very it's a challenging thing to look for a long lost family member, because it brings up emotions, it brings up conflicts with other family members, puts you into conflict with them, and also just the logistics of looking for somebody. So as I was doing the practical real life search for my brother, I needed a kind of therapy, if you will, to work through some of these issues, and that's where Khoya came from. It was kind of therapy on paper of, I'm dealing with this, here's this character, let's see what he does, and then I can learn from this movie character.
Which is so brilliant. You know what? You are one really emotional person. You know what? It's very easy to say that somebody is trying to look for their brother, but it's very difficult to go through that process of emotional loss, feeling that emotional loss, and especially for a sensitive person, because I'm sure there might be incidents like this all over, but not everybody might really try that hard to find the other side of their family. But it seems coming from you, who's such an emotional guy, who was so touched, who really wanted to actually, find your brother. You actually did. You were pretty successful in that. But as you mentioned, the challenges are there, other family members and whatnot. You had to go through everything. I have to say that you put your creativity and your emotional ups and downs to such right use that now we have this brilliant movie for us to watch. And it was made so wonderfully. In the sense, like, you did justice to both sides of the way raising up guy in Canada and then coming back to India, and like real authentic Indian village settings. So how tough was for you, because you are based out of here, right? You are based out of
yeah.
So how tough was that for you to actually go back in India and shoot all that, and how did you get the information about true authentic, okay, this is what I want to do and let's make it this way. So how did all that work out?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I had visited India countless times. I don't know how many times. And I spent so much of my time in Jabalpur, where we shot, which my family is from. Mm-hmm. So I had some familiarity, quite a bit of familiarity with the streets. But filming and making a movie is a whole other thing. And even for our Mumbai crew, it was difficult shooting in Jabalpur because movies just don't get shot in Jabalpur. It's not a place where a lot of movies get shot. Bhopal, yeah, Jabalpur, not so much. So there was definitely a period of adjustment, and one of the smartest things that we did was the year before we actually had our principal of photography, the director of photography and we traveled around the towns and villages and farms where we wanted to shoot, and we got a sense of just things as simple as the lighting, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, we're standing in this lobby of a movie theater here in Dallas, but in Jabalpur, it's not this bright. Maybe in Mumbai it would be like this, but not in Jabalpur. It's much darker, and in homes especially, homes are lit differently, which it sounds like a little thing, but it affects the way you see people. So like a fluorescent on the wall as opposed to lamps or overhead lights.
Yep.
And I think it was really a team effort to get those kinds of details right, and to spend the time capturing that sense of place.
So true. I mean, being living in America, visiting India is a different thing. Going there and living for a long time is a different thing. But then going there and working with locals over there, and that too on project like this, where you actually have to direct the authentic India, is completely different ballgame. And I have to say, you did it pretty well. You actually kind of excelled in it. The way you were capturing local folk art and the music segments and everything. So that was the team was awesome. I think you picked the right people, and all the best to you in future as well, and keep up making such movies.
Well, thanks so much.
What after this? I mean, I know this was very close to. I mean, this was an obvious output from your life, because you were anyways thinking about it, right? But what next? If you have to make anything else, what would you love to direct? What kind of movies in general would you like to direct?
Yeah, so right now I'm working on a documentary which is actually about 4 Cuban baseball players who are trying to make it to the major leagues, trying to make it to America. So I've been working on that for 3 years. So it takes a long time to make stuff.
Things take time.
Yeah, and then Rupak and I are actually working on a couple of projects set in India to try and make that next project in India. One of them is a horror film. The other is a historical adventure story set during the fall of the Mughal Empire. So it's kind of the fall of the Mughals, the rise of the British, and the beginnings of the resistance to British rule. So
this movie sounds really interesting. The story sounds really interesting. I just actually spoke to Rupak, and he was interested in doing them dishum. So I think this movie will give him some chance to do dishum with Britishers or whatnot in the movie.
He loves it.
Yeah, I'm already looking forward. All the best for all your projects.
Thanks
they
so
all
much,
seem so interesting. And another thing that I wanted to ask is how was it emotionally watching this movie being made in front of your eyes, because you have another connection with the story anyways. So how is your experience of actually directing this movie? Because we, even as an audience, we sometimes have teary eyes, right, when we actually connect and we see something which is so emotionally brilliant. So how was the process, your experience of the process of directing this movie?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, it's very difficult because it's you're laying yourself on the screen, laying a lot of the conversations, a lot of the scenes or stuff that's happened in real life. So it's difficult for me to make. I mean, making it wasn't so difficult because you're in the process of making it. You're shooting it, you're writing it, editing it became a challenge. Just watch scenes over and over again.
Yes, it is. It's not a very enjoyable process, but you have to do it.
Yeah, you have to do it. And then watching the movie is actually very, very difficult.
Because it connects to you so much.
Yeah, that's me up there, and it's like now I've seen the movie so many times where I just can't watch it anymore. I admire, I think Sidney Lumet, who did 12 Angry Men, he talked about how once the movie's finished, he never watches it again. Now I have a fresh understanding of why he said that, because it is, you pour yourself onto the screen, you put everything you can, you take such huge financial risk, emotional risk.
Yes.
So it's, it's like torture, really, to watch it.
I mean, that is so true. I mean, any form of art, artists are meant to put it out there, but you know what? It is so personal to you that it's not easy to let it go out there for anybody to critique. It's not an easy thing to do, because you have a very different connection with your child. It becomes your child.
Absolutely,
and then when you're letting it out, it's not an easy process to just do that in general, and to be able to. But you know what, you're doing awesome. I think you've got selected over here, and we wish you all the best in a lot of other film festivals and whatnot. You're already going to have a digital release in America pretty sometime soon. So you know what, you're doing awesome already. So be confident and keep creating such content which brings such stories and such emotions.
Oh, thanks so much.
Thank you so much. And I wanted to ask one more thing. Did you watch this movie with your brother?
No, I haven't. I haven't. Yeah, one day.
One day?
Yeah. I'm still coming to terms with the movie. So I think,
Okay,
soon.
all the best.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he's liking it. And I'm pretty sure he's waiting for you to just actually ask for that. I'm sure he's already watched it or something.
Maybe, yeah.
But you know what? He is one proud brother. And you should be one proud brother as well. To be able to put that effort to connect.
Well, thanks so much.
Because in times like these, sometimes we have relations which we don't cherish the way we should.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, this gives a very different understanding that, it is precious to be able to give your lifetime to find and then cherish it together and live together. So, all the best to you. And how did your family in general enjoy the movie?
Great. Yeah, they've been huge supporters. I was nervous, but it was really a family project as well. It's like some of my cousins in India are in the film or helped like logistically, secure locations. So they were huge champions of the movie. So especially
No
my
wonder
parents.
they are.
Yeah.
No wonder they are. And I think this movie, I think you succeeded anyways. So all the best, and keep enjoying all the happy moments with your brother and your family, and keep making such movies and keep working so creatively, and we shall wait for you every next year at SAFF. What's your overall experience over here at SAFF? How do you like it?
It's been great. Yeah, everybody's been so nice and welcoming, and I can't wait. Let's go to the party.
Absolutely. I know we're all waiting for that. But thank you so much for giving us your time on Radio Karishma. And we shall wish you all the best, and keep coming again, keep meeting again, and keep visiting SAFF every other time. And we hope your movie gets screened every time so that we can actually watch your creative content. Thank you so much again.
Thank you. Keep listening to Radio Karishma.
Thank you so much, Sami. Thank you so much for giving us your time, and wish you all the best.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you.
New day, new life. Radio Karishma is full of spice. New day, new life. Radio Karishma is full of spice. जादू धुन और म्यूजिक का है एक तराना मस्ती का. जादू धुन और म्यूजिक का है एक तराना मस्ती का. सुनो सुनो, hey everyone, let's play Radio Karishma. Feel the magic of Radio Karishma. जादू म्यूजिक का Radio Karishma. Feel the magic of Radio Karishma. जादू म्यूजिक का Radio Karishma.
Feel the magic with Radio Karishma.
जादू म्यूजिक का